thought you were
Well,
going to
I'm
be hip with
happy.
the kids.
I'm happy. When have I ever been hip with any kid ever?
No games for old men.
It's been a week since we met. You are painting your Gene Stealers, and the way you're doing the little chicken head dance right now tells me that you are almost done.
Yep.
Are you really?
That is accurate.
Are you
That
done?
is accurate.
Almost done?
No, I'm almost
What do you got?
done. I'm almost
Hit
done.
me with it.
So
Hit me with
my
it.
goals last week were to be able to complete all of my standardized troops and get down to just having characters to finish.
Yeah.
If I hadn't had this emergency run to come over to, I would probably be down to my last character right now.
Wow.
But instead, I've just gotten a very powerful forward momentum on the first two characters, because they and I will try and get some pictures to you tomorrow of which characters these are. I've got a Talon sniper, which is a sniper in a hood, and I've got the Talon roguey knife dude that you saw in episode 5. And they just don't there's detail to them, but they're in capes and they're in shadow and stuff, so their faces are requiring a lot of work. But I'm not going to get too ornate with their robes or anything, because they're supposed to be stealth characters, so they're getting muted colors, they're getting there's definitely still going to be some work done on them, but it's not like I'm doing intricate filigree on anything or like detailed shapes or anything like that. Like it's a lot of mild highlights. The weapon on the Talon, which with the knife is actually the most like intricate part, so that's going to take some time. But these two are going to work out pretty quick. And then the Keller morph, which is like the Clint Eastwood gunslinger of the three.
Yeah.
That one is probably going to take me a minute to get done. But yeah, no, I'm excited to kind of wrap these up. I finished this dog sitting, house sitting gig Sunday at about 12 noon. So I'm going to get home and just be like,
frantically paint. So my update, I've been this has been a challenging week. I've been painting a lot more than I have painted in a really long time. I've enjoyed the experience, but it has been a challenge. I've got base coats on just about everything. I'm having a struggle trying to determine how I want their clothing to look. But as far as the orc bodies, like arms and heads and things, and whatever they're carrying, I feel like I've made good progress there. It's the clothing, though, I'm having trouble with, because my initial thought was, well, they're commandos, so they're going to wear like dark muted, like grays or dark greens things. But then as I started doing that, I'm like, well, they're all like they're green skins. So green shirt on a green body, it looks all too samey. So I started balking, and that's been the thing I've been trying to push through, is to figure out how I really want the clothing to look. So do I go with like dark grays, or do I continue with the original plan to do like fatigues and just try to separate the fatigues from the flesh in a really intricate way? I don't know how to proceed with that, but I also have to keep in mind that I have lofty ambitions, but my current skill level is not going to allow me to get there. What I am most proud of, though, was yesterday I put a lot of effort. I spent way more time than I probably should have on the knob.
Nice.
But it's the knob, right? It's your showpiece character.
Right.
And because I went with the guy who's got the power claw, like his right arm has been severed at the elbow and surgically implanted is this power claw. So I spent a lot of time just practicing wet blending and wet palette mixing and all kinds of stuff just to get this really gnarly look on the stump where the arm meets the power claw. So I've tried to make it look bruised and infected and pussy, and from when you're holding it just like the way you would hold a miniature, I think it looks really good. Like you've got the green orc flesh on the delts, but then as it gets down to the triceps and the bicep up down to the elbow, the color gets lighter and more purpley, up to the point where it actually meets the power claw where it's almost white. Like it's just dead flesh.
Nice.
And then the surgical sites where you see the scarring and whatnot, I put like real tiny, just very thin red ink in there to kind of fill in that wound area to make it just look angry and painful and red. And like if you've ever had an injury, like a cut that gets infected and it just gets swollen and bright red, and you know that hurts like a mofo if you've ever had that happen. And so I think that is the part of that model I am most proud of, because I think it looks really, really good. And if I'm brave, I'll take a picture of it and put it up right here. But
well, I know that you put a work in progress picture up on the Instagrams and the No Games for Old Men Instagrams. If you haven't visited, you should.
I do. I do.
Are
you talking to me or
talking to the audience?
Oh, sorry. Oh, right.
Yeah. Like and subscribe. And that looked really good, but that wasn't the finished deal then, was it?
The model's not done, but I think that area is mostly done.
Nice.
I don't know if that's what you're asking me, but no, the model's not done at all.
Well, I knew that. Yeah. Well, yeah, that looked really good. But
that's where I am. I made a lot of progress yesterday. I have been struggling because, again, with, like I said last week, just base coating, just when you put on base coats, it just doesn't look good. And that's a demoralizing thing, especially when you haven't painted in so long. You see that and it affects you. You're like, oh my gosh, this is my skill level now? But it's not. It's just base coats. So
yeah.
It's once you start putting on those little extra details, that's when, and that's why I started focusing on that area of the knob arm with the power claw. That gave me a lot of confidence. Okay, this looks really good. I can do this with the other models. And so that's what I'm doing now. I just got to figure out the clothing. That's the big part. I mean, that's 50% of the model is their pants and their shirts. And if I can get that figured out, I'll be fine.
Have you considered neon color camouflage?
I did see a post on Instagram where somebody had painted an orc in these like really vibrant colors, and it looked so good.
Was it Dana Howell?
I don't know.
Okay, because
I don't know.
Dana Howell does some really good work.
It was really, really good, and but it was top quality work. It wasn't something that a schlub like me could do today. Not today. Maybe
give it a year,
some practice. But also, I watched Squidmar. You mentioned Squidmar last episode when we were talking about people who we could watch to gain some inspiration, or particularly me. I mean, you've been painting for a while, so I don't know that you need inspiration, but
it never hurts
for me. And you mentioned Squidmar, and I started watching some of his videos, starting with the crashed Tau Manta. What an amazing diorama, by the way, folks. If you are not familiar with this, go check out Squidmar on YouTube and watch this Tau Manta diorama that they're putting together over this period of time. It's been really great. But in addition to that, I found a video. He's done like a series of videos of like things I wish I knew when I started painting. 5 brush techniques I wish I knew, and stuff like that. And those have been really helpful, actually, because I've been, he did, there was another video where it's like how I went from this, and he shows this model, it looks fine. Just like my first model looked fine. It was playable. It's decent. To this, I think he won, I don't know if he won a Golden Demon with it or something in like less than a year. So here was my painting journey, and I found that really inspirational. Unattainable for me, but to see that somebody was able to do that, and I'm sure his timeline is compressed because he really went for it. And I don't have the time to be able to do what he did, but to see that somebody was able to do that in that period of time, to go from never painting a miniature to winning a competition, and his mini looked amazing.
If that's working for you, you may want to check out Ninjon, Ninjon.
I found Ninjon. Was it Nelson, our viewer Nelson,
Yes.
who recommended Goobertown?
Yes.
Goobertown Hobbies. I saw one of his like how to start painting miniatures videos or something. I don't remember what it was. That dude is so chill.
I had to
He's
stop watching him because I would just get into like a
so
Zen state,
relaxed.
and
Yeah.
I would just be like, I'm done. I'm just gonna listen. All right,
I
we're
just
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I were a pot smoker, I would probably just like light up a joint and listen to Goobertown Hobbies talk, because he's so calm and soothing. And he's got
that's
music that he
Warhammer
chooses.
ASMR. That's what that is. It's completely wholesome. It's on topic, and it's just I'm gonna tell you about the chemical structure of this pigment. Good to go.
Oh no,
It's good to go.
Goobertown Hobbies is a great YouTube channel. He's
Yeah.
that guy. He's got this like long red hair, and he like pulls it down on one side, and he's like, "Hey everybody,
Yeah. No, it's very
welcome
very
to Goobertown
connected.
Hobbies. We're gonna paint some miniatures today." All of the people that, not all, I haven't been able to check them all out, but so many people that were recommended last week, I've checked out and really enjoyed. It's just an embarrassment of riches of new YouTube channels that I can watch, and there's just hundreds of hours of content now that I have
Yeah, it feels
available
weird
to
that
me.
we're kind of tangentially like a part of this Warhammer YouTube community, even though
It's weird. I don't feel that
Yeah.
term applies at all for us.
Like I said, tangentially. I feel like we're a fan account that's kind of existing in YouTube.
Sure. This week was a good confidence booster.
Good.
Last week, I was like, there's no way I can do this. This week, I got to a point where like, I think I can do this. By the end of this week, or next week, because it's Saturday right now. So next week starts tomorrow. But by the end of next week, I think I'll be like, I think I've got this.
Worst case scenario, though, I do think we're going to need one more episode between now and when we actually play, because there might be a 2-week break between when we actually do our last meeting and then when we have the footage to be able to turn into our actual gameplay video.
Okay, so we've already kind of talked about goals. You've got to be done by Wednesday, and you're wasting time here with me. So you better hang up and get going.
Well, there is something else that we should probably discuss.
Oh, what's that?
Where we're going to play.
There's Emerald Knights. That is a big store, and they've got a mezzanine with gaming tables around and a halo that loop around the store. I don't know if they require a fee to play on those tables.
Okay.
I do know they have scheduled events, so we would at least need to make sure that we're not there taking up tables while they're trying to do a scheduled event. So I'll look into that.
Cool.
There's another store that I found when I bought the Octarius box called Geeky Teas. Teas like that you drink, not teas that you wear.
Okay.
Either way, it would work, though, I would think. But this is a smaller store, but they've got lots of tables. They've got a room that you can rent out for $10 per person per day. So if we get that reserved on a non-busy day, we could use that, or we could go to, I mean, the good thing about Kill Team is that the play mat is kind of fits on a regular table. So you don't need this gigantic table to play on. Yeah.
That was one of the great things about when Nelson and I were able to play more regularly, is we would get a table over at Guardian Games, which is the local place by me, and we'd set up the board, and then we would just use all the rest of the space that was available on the sides to be like, here's the scenery storage, and here are my 6 bags, and here's like my
Jeez.
like I've got a drink and a bag of chips, and we just had all this extra space around us, and it'd be like the playboard was just right here, and then we'd have all of our crap, because you can't be a mini war gamer and not just have a like metric butt ton of crap.
Yeah,
that goes.
You have
with
your charcuterie plate on the side. your tasting board of the 6 beers that you're sampling.
You kind of joke, but there is not a game store in Portland that doesn't have beer on tap. So,
I don't joke. I know you've told me this. I know. Yeah. Okay, then we have our goals.
Yeah,
set.
It's exciting.
This has gone so fast.
Really,
this has gone so fast. I went from having a bunch of uncut sprues to some mostly playable figures within a very short period of time. From my perspective, it's
only been a couple weeks.
I know, but when you are, our age, a couple of weeks only lasts a few hours.
Oh my God!
Time just goes by so fast.
So true, man.
But feel like I'm getting a crash course in how to paint again.
Nice.
We'll see what we come up with when we finally, I mean, this is like a do or die thing. They're either going to be ready or they're not.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm putting them on the table.
Right? Yeah.
So,
no.
That's that. So
just remember, painted models do better.
See you next Saturday, where you will be on the road, or will you already be down here?
We'll probably we will likely
drive slow, right?
We will be in California. We may.
But which part of California? I mean, California covers a large part of the Pacific Coast. And I know you guys typically take a few days. You do little stops here and there. So
we are doing that.
Okay. I will see you from wherever, whatever Motel 6 you decide to stay at.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's where our next recording will be from. Garbage audio quality and all.
I don't think it's that bad. I think the person who complained about the audio in episode 3 is just jealous.
Who complained about the audio? We don't need to call them out. That's fine. People have different opinions. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, Curtis.
Oh, Dan, I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Get to painting.
I can't till tomorrow.
Okay, well, let me go so I can get to painting. I need to get to painting.
That's a fact. I'm just distracting you at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
See you next time, everybody.
See you later, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Like and subscribe.
No games.
Fire it up. Fire it up. Fire it up.